Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. It's a shockingly bad day over here. It's just been storms, wind, rain and the cold. So I say cold, it's probably about 5-10 degrees, which is probably quite warm for places like Canada in the winter, but it's freezing today. I'm borderline putting jeans on. I was going to use Barrister Man Lada Le Petit Sherpa because one of the Shimak was talking about that. I think he sent me a PM about that range and I was going to use that because it's a cold, horrible day, but I feel like I'm back in Scotland, so I'm going to go with the Tiki silks, the Kilted Tiki. There's been a lot of issues that I've seen on Facebook with this company getting soaps out, which is a shame because I've used the Whiskers pipe smoke, I think that's what it's called, and it's incredible. This one, I really enjoy the scent of it. It does have a sort of, you can smell whiskey, but it's got a cologne-y sort of thing going on as well. Good scent strength, maybe 5.5 out the tub. Just shit tons of soap. This was sent to me from Ken Lee, Ken's Shaving and BSing over in America, just to pay it forward. And it smells great. I'm really looking forward to using it. I'm going to use my, I was going to use my purple Haze, and I will use it. I was going to just switch over to the Celtic brush to keep it Scottish. But before I do anything, I'm going to have a lovely drink of coffee. Oh yes. Right, straight onto the dry soap. Now this is it's not a hard soap, but it's not a soft soap. It's not a crope, it's harder than a crope. For those of you that don't know what a crope is, it's a soap sort of cream. It's classed as a soap, but it's technically a cream. It's really soft. If you want an idea what kind of soaps are like cropes, if you check out like Magard shaving soaps, those to me are very similar to like a crope consistency with a very, very soft. Right, I think that'll do me. I'll just dip the tips twice just to get a bit of moisture into the brush. Giving it a good whiz round. Oh, it smells even better when you get a bit of water into it. It really does smell good. I've got 2 Tiki silks, both sent to me from Ken Lee. Both of them smell amazing. The other one smells like cherry pipe tobacco, but it's so strong. Just wet the face. Cold water shave on a freezing cold day makes a lot of sense. Let's just paint this on. And here we go. Now I have to say, out of all the synthetics that I use, this one makes the easiest face lather. The 25mm fan from Whiskers. I believe this is the same knot that Nathan Clark was using in his Envy Shaves 8-ball, or any Envy Shaves brush you get, I think, but I think he's actually moved on to the Elite fan now, which if you haven't seen is a sort of crisper looking fan. It looks a little bit neater, straighter lines. I really, really like the scent of this. And as with the Wizard Pipe Smoke, the other soap that I've got, you can see it just lathers up amazingly well. Look at that. Yeah, so it's a shame about the business Tiki soaps and how it's sort of going. I believe they are still sort of trading, but I wouldn't trust them with my money at the moment, unfortunately. I'm not sure what they were like in the beginning, whether they were a very reliable company to begin with I know there's other issues outside of the business, but that's none of my concern. It's not my thing to say anything. OneBlade, second use on this blade. As you can see, all you do is you just slot it into the two little gaps on the back, and then you just push it down to hear the click, and that's you sorted. With the grain, I get 2 shaves out of a blade with these. Works out roughly 22 American cents per blade, and that's about the cheapest. Is it 26? If you split the price of the blade in two, they're about 50 odd cents I think per blade. So, excuse me, that doesn't bother me, they're cheap enough, and it's a very enjoyable razor to use, so I've got no issue spending that on blades. Sort of goes with the Rolls Royce philosophy. If you can afford a Rolls Royce, you can afford to service it and put parts on it and things like that. This is a similar sort of thing. It's an expensive razor with expensive blades, but it works really, really well. There's no doubt about it, there's a learning curve with it. But it offers such a smooth, comfortable shave once you get it working for you. And look, it's not going to be for everyone, it really isn't. No razor is. There's no razor out there that works for everyone, it just doesn't work like that. One thing I've learned from wet shaving is it's one of the most subjective things I've done in my life, no matter what it is really. I've had a lot of hobbies throughout the years, but this is so subjective as to what works for you and what doesn't. And as you can see, this soap, I've covered everything, but there's still a lot of soap on there, which is excellent for residual slickness. It just gives you that little bit of soap that you can move around with the water. Have a little sip of the coffee. As you can see, the residual slickness is good. It's not as good as some, but it's good. I think when I used the Cherry Wizard's Pipe tobacco scented soap, I think it was better from memory. But this is still lovely. It's got a beautiful gloss on it. Yeah, you can see that, no problem. Beautiful gloss on the lather itself. But as you can see, it just whips up. I'll try and get in nice and close to the camera so you can see it actually building and growing. So the way I lather from here, and what I'm actually doing with this back up and down motion, I'm actually pushing the lather to the bottom down here. That's where it seems to gather. It doesn't gather on the top, it always gathers on the bottom. I don't know if that's a gravity thing, but same on this side, as you can see, it's all starting to gather down here. So at this stage, it doesn't look like I've got much on my cheeks, but then what you do is when you actually pull it up from the bottom and from the sides, it all gathers in the brush, and then one stroke, you've got loads of lather. This stuff lathers like an absolute monster. The scent, I love this scent. I wasn't too keen on it the first time I opened it, if I'm completely honest with you. But as with a lot of wet shavers, I know you guys do it as well, I smell my soaps quite a lot. A lot of the time in preparation for my next shave, a future shave, something when the weather's going to get bad like today, this is a perfect scent for a shitty cold day. It just reminds me so much. It does have a sort of green scent to it, like a, I don't know, it just makes me feel back in Scotland. That's what I feel like with the scent. It's just great. It's almost like being in an old school pub. You can, that's, the whiskey is actually in the air, you can smell it, that's what it's like. But you've also got the smell of the sort of the smoke from tobacco and all the old fusty men's aftershaves. That's what we used to call them when I was a kid. All that brute and Old Spice stuff stinks, which I now love. Okay, so there's the ladder, beautiful ladder again, and across the green. Alright, just had to take a phone call there, so I do apologise. Let's get the shave finished off. I lost my chain of thought now. Now I can already feel this blade is on its way out. It's just starting to get a little bit, not tuggy, but I can feel it's not as comfortable, so it's definitely a 2-shave blade for me. It was interesting, I watched John Romanoff. I've only just recently started watching John's channel, I didn't know he had one. So, for those of you out there with a OneBlade, if you're not aware, with a Valley Auto Strop, you can actually strop the blade. And John, I think, is on his 3rd shave on that blade, and he said it felt as smooth as it did when he first used the blade, so quite impressive. It's certainly something I'll look at if he gets maybe 6-7 shaves out of a blade. The more you can extend out of a blade, the better, as long as it's not affecting the shave, because they're not cheap. If you can get 6 shaves out of a blade, it then makes each shave less than 10 cents per blade, so it works out a whole lot better than having to fork out 50 cents a blade, or 22 cents per shave if you split it in 2. That was a great second pass, by the way. The soap is really slick, gives great protection. Residual slickness on this one isn't as good, I don't think, from memory, as the other Tiki soap that I've got, but it's still great slickness when you're shaving with it. Is it a soap that I would use in my head? Probably not. I will use it, but it's probably not one that I would recommend if you're looking to start out sort of head shaving, if you go against the grain, because it's not. Residual slickness is very important in my opinion when you want to go against the grain. Extremely important. And as you can see, this is the 3rd ladder. So my ladder technique is generally just side to side, up, down, side to side. I don't swirl. I find this works better. I used to swirl my brushes in the beginning. Now, as you can see, it's all building up down the bottom, so all we do is we grab it, pull it up. There you go, sorted. Right, across the grain other way. Excellent. This is a perfect scent for a shit day. And let's say, guys, I don't recommend at the moment anyway, until something changes or I hear something different on Facebook or through any of the forums. It's not worthwhile buying this soap unless you can get it from a reputable business. There is someone on Facebook at the moment who has quite a few of the soaps. I'm not sure whether he has this one, and he's actually selling them off at cost price, I believe, of what he paid, just to try and help people out that want to try the soaps. And he's also helping people out that have ordered the soaps and been let down, and he's actually going to send them out for free if you cover the shipping, I think it was, or if you cover the cost of the soap, I can't remember. Which is a very, very generous thing for someone to do. Right, let's just rinse off a bit. Not just be a case of. Yeah, the residual slickness is pretty average, if I'm honest. It's not great. The scent's beautiful, the lather's great. I've got a bit over here, but it's not like a full face coverage of residual slickness. I mean, that's pretty good there, but on my lips it's not great. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty, I mean, just, it's probably easy. Yeah, I don't know whether you can see that skipping. But great shave, no irritation that I can feel at the moment. Really nice. Right, bear with me a second, I'm just going to grab something. That was a quick second, I tell you what, I'm quick, bloody quick. I'm going to use something that I have not used for a long time. I don't know why I haven't used it, because I think they're great. I keep watching everyone else using them and I don't use it myself. So I'm going to pull it back into the rotation every shave. And that is the Allen Block. This is the Razor Rock one. Doesn't matter what brand you get, but what you want, I'm pretty sure, let me just double check this one. Jesus, it's tiny, right? I can't even read it. I'm pretty sure you don't want these to have actual aluminium in them. Some of them have aluminium in them, or aluminum as it is in America. So you want to make sure it's not got any aluminium in it. I know it's an Allen Block, but you don't actually want that in it, because it's not good for you. I think that's right. So I'm just going to wet the whole block. I might just wet my face as well a bit. Post-shave feel is actually quite moisturised. My skin feels quite sticky, which is good. Oh, I haven't felt a little tingle like that for a long time. But in terms of what I was expecting, this feels great. I was expecting a bit of burn. This just highlights the fact that I've had a very, very smooth shave. What's the OneBlade? There's nothing jumping out at me going, whoa, that hurts. Nothing at all, especially down here on the neck. That's the amazing part with this OneBlade. I don't get any irritation on my neck with it. Right, as usual, it tastes like shit. Always make sure you rinse it off. It draws the moisture out of your skin. It keeps, really sucks it out there. It's like dipping your face in salt. That's the sort of way I could describe it, I suppose. Salt's a high absorber of water. That's what it's like. I can imagine the burn would be similar as well. Humphreys Lilac, which is the lavender scented version of Humphreys. I tell you what, guys, that was a freaking amazing shave. I feel a bit like Gil there, I tell you what, guys. Oh, Gil over at Another Kind of Cool. Really nice guy. And he makes no, he doesn't hide the fact of what his job is. He's a firefighter or a fire officer or a fireman. I don't know, you can't call him fireman anymore, I don't think, because it's sexist. So I think it's a fire officer, similar to police officer, I think now. So yeah, got to take my hat off to that man. I'm not sure exactly where he lives. I don't know whether or not he was involved in anything major that was to do with all that shitty terror crap that went on. But hats off to firefighters, I tell you what. You know, it might sound daft, but to me, that out of all those sort of professions, nurses, firefighters, ambulance officers, paramedics and police, it's definitely one of the worst in terms of risking your life. And I would put nurses and paramedics right behind it, because at the end of the day, especially over here, as much as being a police officer is a very dangerous job, I carried a gun, a taser, a baton, handcuffs, pepper spray, or OC spray, what they call it, oleo resin capsicum spray. So it's, as you can see there with the brush, that's the sign of a good soap to me. I've just rinsed that out heavily, and it's all those little holes there, it's just soap deep down in the knot, which is holding it together still. So definitely I always take my hat off to people like that. Unfortunately, I spent eight years in the job, in the police, and it just sucked the life out of me. When I joined, I was a happy-go-lucky 23-year-old, and when I left, I was just a burnt-out husk. And 2 years after leaving, or a year and a half after leaving, I'm still suffering the consequences of the job. It's a very thankless, just a horrible job, really. A job which I still recommend to couples and single people. It's not a family orientated job. If you got kids, don't do it. Do something else, trust me. It's not worth it. Enjoy your life with your kids and your family before you enjoy work. You know, it's the Kilted Tiki. Beautiful soap, really is. Massive tub. This will last me probably forever. It's a sort of green colour, and it smells incredible. I love it. Lovely whiskey scent with a cologne-y, smoky sort of background. It really is nice stuff. The razor, the OneBlade, second use on the blade, excellent razor. I mean, I've got no irritation at all today, just so smooth. But yeah, just superb. The reason I go through all this and show you guys everything I use at the end as well is because while the witch hazel's drying in, it just gives me a bit of time to clean up my brush and sort of go through things. Wolf Whiskers, Purple Haze, beautiful brush. I do have my third Wolf Whiskers on the way. I cannot wait to get hold of it. It's slightly different to that one, but I cannot wait to get it. And you've probably seen it as well if you watched the last video, the synthetic shaving brush video. Moved on to the Allen block, which worked a treat, felt really good. I enjoyed using it there. And then Humphreys Lilac. And I'm now dry enough to use what else? The VR2 phase. You'd be sick of this stuff, I tell you what. But for the price, it's one of the best buys I've ever got. What a shave. I really enjoyed that. If I'm honest, I really needed it. I needed a shave like that. And there we go. Well guys, I shall leave you to it. Thank you very much for tuning in. I've had quite a few new subscribers over the past sort of 3 or 4 days, which is great. I hope you're enjoying the content on the channel. I know I've got friends over here that have actually started watching it and actually enjoy it themselves, and whether it turns them into wet shavers in terms of traditional, I don't know, but they're enjoying the channel, they're enjoying watching the shaves, and that's the main thing. That's all I'm sort of looking for, trying to bring a bit of brightness and happiness into someone's life through something I enjoy. And yeah, it's an expensive hobby. It's something that at times can get you in a bit of trouble and a bit of strife with a wife, but as long as you make reasonably good decisions financially, you should be alright. I haven't put us in any strife whatsoever so far. I have almost been stabbed, shot, murdered, chucked through the window. Yeah, I've copped my fair share of swear words, so just be warned, if you get into this hobby, that's the sort of fun that you're looking into. But other than that guys, I'll leave you to it. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive. I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.